Hello everybody, back once again. We're going to be looking at the Arma 3 Contact DLC. I'm not going to be really going in and spoiling the campaign or anything. What I'll basically doing is giving you a little bit of thoughts on like some of the items here, the map, some of the new weapons they've given. They've also got some new animations, which is pretty cool. Tons of new objects, stuff that is in Zeus, stuff that is not in Zeus, and then talking a little about the alien, I guess you would say, here in Contact. So I'll be near the end portion of this. I'll give you guys a little heads up if you want to kind of keep that a surprise. But let's just jump right in here. So this is the map here of Livonia. It's very nice. So this is kind of like a Polish area. I guess the story is that in real life, I think it's owned by Russia, but in this here, it's 2039. It isn't. Not too familiar with like the backstory too much. I know Goof was telling me a bit about it because he's a little bit farther than I am. I was wondering what the heck was going on over here. It looked like these things were moving throughout. So, oh, that's a bit different there. So I have no idea. Oh, it's because I have the anomaly thing here placed just for fun, because I wanted to see what it will do when I let everybody kind of just unleash. So let's kind of take it here object by object. We have some nice new little like tents and nothing like really sci-fi, more militaristic here. It still fits very nicely into the space of Arma. You can put down all of this in Zeus, which is very nice. Get yourself a little tent. People can walk in. You can brief them in. Got a little stretcher system. We have sponge. We have like a dry and a wet sponge. So it's kind of the small things they put in there, kind of like interesting in that regard. Got a ton of rocks and whatnot. We got nice little like lines and like oil spills and water spills, which are pretty cool stuff for immersion. But now we got some more antennas. See, here's the map of Livonia. You can see one thing I really enjoy is that this is woodlands. Essentially, we've had kind of like the jungle with apex, and I guess you would say woodlands a little bit with stratus. Altus is kind of like a little mix of everything. Mountains more like city based, but this is woodlands, and you're gonna see that in camouflage, which is probably my favorite thing, honestly, to the look of it there. Some like burned down buildings and look to them there. You can see like water towers. So we got a nice little bit of objects. This is definitely not everything. There's still a ton more stuff out there, and we'll look at some of the so this is like the little airport there. We'll go and look at like some of the towns here in a minute. You can kind of see like the structures. So it fits very much that like distant future look of Arma. It's not anything too far off and too crazy. I think Malden personally is probably the most we'll see in terms of like structures looking different, essentially there. So here's the good guys, the NATO. Something very interesting is that, well, I'll get back into like in the kind of like spoilerish part. These are like NATO woodland, but then there's something else that's going to branch off into a different section of these guys, where if you have the contact DLC loaded as optional, you'll be able to use those, but not in multiplayer, which is weird. So you could still use them in Eden Editor and missions, but you wouldn't be able to use them with your friends. It's kind of weird in that regard, but I'll talk more about that in a few. So you can see here we have a new drone, which is really cool. So this thing has like a little probing device and scanning. I'll show that off here later. So you can see it still has like the normal NATO dude here. So it adds it for the base guy, but also adds it for the more woodland look here, which is pretty cool, I will say. There we got some new vehicle looks there. So here's our little buddy here, the ED1D Pelter and Roller. One of the coolest things, doing all the bomb squad. I mess around with that. So I think we got, where is it? Yeah, so we got like little CBRN guys here for containment. So these guys are here. You can all put down in like Eden Editor and Zeus. But then if you go and look at more of the outfits, we have a blue variant and a white variant. We don't have a yellow variant, which is interesting. But of course, there's like mods and stuff for that. You have to actually go through and add this little decontainment thing to the back, where before it'll have like one of these, which is pretty cool. So these guys are more combat ready. These are more like scientist ready there. I believe these are the Spetnaz, which is pretty cool actually to see them in the game. I wish they had like a pitch black camo also. That'd be nice. There is like a way to do that in the uniforms. There's a black outfit you could probably put them with if you wanted to. Here's some looters, which is very nice to have just generic run-of-the-mill like farmers or looters running around. So we see we have the new double barrel shotgun right here. I'll go there and check out the new animation for that, which is really cool. Probably one of the like best things to see, like new animations for Arma in that regard. I got a double barrel shotgun which shares the same animation but still very nice. These are like an M14 variant here. You can add some scopes, or like I think Pickard scopes, or rails they're called. Go over here and see some vehicles. So we got some helis, we got some tanks over here, we got Zamax. I like these off-road covered ones. I think I had one that actually had like the antenna to it. There's one that adds like a little nice antenna variant. Yeah, here it is for the civilians. Comms links, so covered. We actually got some vans and stuff there. We got like nice little quad. The tractors are really nice and really fun to mess with. So here's kind of like a look for like civilians and scientists, and like fun little outfits here. So we got like a little scientist. I don't need to believe. Is a little VIP press pass scientist look there. With the blindfold. The blindfold doesn't work. Now, in the Metal Gear Solid mod that we talked about a while back, the blindfold works, you can't see anything. In this, you can. So it's kind of like, you take what you can get. Essentially, we got a tinfoil hat, which is a lot of fun. Some more scientist looks. Now, for the Arma 3 Contact DLC, it adds in more voices. So we have voices for the Polish, Livonians. We have voices for the Russians, which is really nice. Some new emblems. We also have new character looks for the faces, which are really nice. Now, Arma's always had that kind of like attached look. It just looks weird. Like the hair is not like its own separate thing. It's just like painted on, kind of feels like. So, you're still going to get that Arma look when it comes to the new faces. And we'll check out some of those for like, those are more for the detailed characters in the story there. These are more who are these guys? These are just like base Livonia Defense Force guys. So like they get their own little pelicans and drones and everything. So let's go and check out some stuff over here. See, Nadhor got like a little area over here, which is a nice little like town going on here. It's very nice. There's some like little Easter eggs going around. You can find like little craters opened up. The campaign is stunning, I will say that. You guys will very much enjoy that. Fully voice acted, which is nice. There's custom scripts and everything. Like it's weird. Like, given the limitations of Arma, they have outdone themselves essentially, adding stuff to make it feel like less restricting a sense, which is very nice. So like I said, most of these towns are going to feel at home essentially when you look at other Arma maps, whether it be Altus or Stratus. You're not going to really see too many crazy buildings, so to say. You might see a couple. I think there's like a little prison you can go into, which is really cool. But for the most part, a little farming town and whatnot. This texture doesn't want to load there. There we go. Get close to it. So yeah, just like nice little farmlands here and there. I think church is still the thing. Can you go inside of it? Nah. So some buildings you can go inside of, some you can't. So buildings are pretty nice though. So let's go and check out this. Let me find out where my dude is at here. He is, yeah, he's in this town right here. So here's the dude I'll be playing as right here, UGV Operator. Play as him, and he's gonna have our new little drone. So that'll be exciting there. And then after I show you guys this, I'll show you the like spoiler portion, essentially with the aliens and the characters there, and the stuff that is not. So all the stuff I've showed you so far is you can put it down in Zeus. Now, once I show you the other stuff, you're kind of gonna be like, why? You know, it's, I don't know, it's a little weird. It's a little restricting. So we'll put down assemble the UGV bag for the ED1E. Make sure to connect them here real quick, and we're gonna take control here. So go to first person. So he's pretty cool. If we go to the turret controls here, we can turn on some searchlights. We can turn on just the front headlamps for it. Gotta love me some headlamps. So he's got a sampling laser. So if we just walk up to my dude here and we hold it, we can start pulsing. Give it a hot second. Completed. So it gives a little ID. It's really nice. I think for the sake of like roleplay, that'd be really useful. I've tried messing around with it with just base Zeus essentially, and since there's like not really like an intel or stuff, you can kind of, you know, you'll need to heavily script this in essentially to get this working probably the way that you would want to. You know, maybe there'll be updates out there that'll fix stuff and whatnot. So here's the biopsy probe. We're gonna go and actually poke our dude here. It does actually do some damage. So where is he at? Yeah, I can see poking my dude there. Let's release the UAV controls. You can see, yeah, it actually dinged him up a little bit. If I go here, something that I actually absolutely love in this that is not in anything else in Arma is that, oh shoot, it actually went through him that time. If this thing like flips or whatever, there we go. At least UAV controls. So if he falls on his back, we can actually unflip him, which is pretty nice. So there's that for the ED1E. Something also to note is that if you go into your arsenal and start messing with your loadouts, they probably will be broken. So last little thing before we get into the spoiler portion here, for the campaign, some people might, you know, they've had some problems with like really heavy lag in the beginning portions where it's like much rain and the woodlands and explosions, a ton of scripts going on. So just a fair warning there, if your PC can't handle it. But at the same time, it's Arma, so I can't really say get a better PC, because even, you know, some of the best PCs can't handle just crazy Arma scripting or stuff going on. So like I said, this map looks really nice. But let's get into the spoiler portion. My final thoughts though without this essentially is it's a nice extension for around 30 bucks though, 25 bucks. Now we're pushing into territory of like how much the base game cost. I don't know about that one, Chief. So I'm a big fan of adding stuff to the game. In my opinion, I get the most out of Laws of War DLC. Apex is pretty cool, but I can't say I use it a ton, essentially, especially the map, as much as I probably should, because it is just very lag intensive when you put everything in the world there. But I get a ton out of Laws of War. Of course, the free DLC, like Mountain, that one was another good one. Carts is fun. Can't really say too much about marksmen or tanks I got much use out of. I may get use out of this probably just as much as Apex, though, hand in hand, but not much as Laws of War or Carts in that kind of like fun factor way there. And I don't get any use out of Global Mobilization when it comes to like playing with my buddies. So that's kind of my opinions on it. Would I say go out and grab it right now? That's up for you to decide. If you like kind of aliens and you want to see like a good Arma 3 story, it's probably better than Apex, but it's not multiplayer, which is weird because I swore it was. I would say pick it up. But given what I'm going to show you next, might actually deter some people. So let's get into the next portion here. So I warned you guys, we're going to jump in and we're going to look at some of the assets here. Of course, these are ones that you cannot put in Zeus for multiplayer at the moment currently, which is a big like, why? You know, it just feels weird. You can't put this in multiplayer, and I'll show you when I back out here into the screen, because Contact has their own like lock bounded interface for it, which is just, I don't like that in many ways. So here we got some alien networks, we got some roots for it. So this is the alien essentially. I'm not crazy deep into the story, but from just playing with it, word of mouth, talking with friends, like these are your aliens right here, the entities and the gravity tools and the scan modules, the stuff they do, and the RIP networks. Like essentially it's not like what is the alien, like is it gonna come and like start shooting at us, you know? It's more of like this unknown entity essentially, which is kind of cool in that regard. But I think people really wanted to see like little green aliens running around, so I could understand that, where some people would be like, you know. So we have the gravity anomaly here. Like I said, it's only for this. It'd be cool to see it, you know, be used in multiplayer stuff. I got some like smoke effects. We got like the little matter balls and like the decaying versions of them. Here's some of the people. So these are like Severov and Krupin. These are like the bad Spetsnaz, like campaign story guys. Here's like after like an EMP goes off, like some characters you can put down. And then finally for the NATO good guys, here's kind of like their looks there. I gotta find my boy Stupe, or is it Stipe? Stipe, dude. Yeah, there he is. He's a good one. And he plays this guy right here, Rudwell. So there's their new little icon, which is pretty cool. So with the spoilers out of the way, this stuff should be in multiplayer, even if it's like, you know, hey, you can't put this down, only the people who own it can put it down. I would like that. Of course, the map is something where I'd be like, yeah, you have to own the whole DLC to use the map. But if you're in Altus and you put down one of these and you're like, oh, Altus is getting attacked by the aliens, like I think that would be more of a thing. Because if we go here and we close the Eden editor, give it a hot second, we can see there's nothing for multiplayer. So that's kind of, you know, and then it takes you to the welcome screen if you click on it. But there's that. So here's the Contact campaign. So it's pretty lengthy, pretty good so far. I've seen other friends play more of it than what I've played myself, but I've liked it so far. I'll say that. Of course, you know, when you start getting scenarios in there, I think that's when they'll add in some of that alien stuff. But it's like what I saw in one of the reviews, is that most people play this in a unit sense or with friends or in like Arma 3 Life. I wouldn't say it's very single player heavy compared to most games. So there's the drawback there of, I would like to see the alien stuff implemented and added to multiplayer, which maybe they will. You know, maybe they'll save that kind of surprise, you know, and then that'll come out. But all in all, it's been a pretty good DLC. It brought me back to Arma, honestly. Like, I haven't really had much of a reason or care to come back and play the game. So something that's like new and off the wall and crazy, essentially. There's always been like little hintings there. It's nice to see. But that's going to be it here for the Arma 3 Contact DLC and my thoughts on it. So tell me how you guys enjoyed or didn't enjoy it down below. And we'll see you all next time. Peace out.